So I spent 3 months knitting a sweater that I absolutely hate, and I don't think I'm ever going to make a textured sweater ever again. So when I was deciding what to make for my next sweater, I really wanted to make a cable knit sweater. Something about cable knit is just so pretty. It's very classic, very timeless. So I set off on a journey to find a pattern in which I could make a cable knit sweater, and I came across the Moby sweater by Petite Knit. I love Petite Knit's patterns. I've made, I think, 2 or 3 of her patterns in the past, and I've really enjoyed them. So I was like, okay, I trust this knitting designer. I'm going to make this, even though it says that the level of difficulty is advanced, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, mind you, I've only made 2 sweaters in the past. One was a really basic sweater and one was a colorwork sweater, but I have yet to make a textured sweater before. So when I set off on this journey, I was like, I can do it. No biggie, I can figure it out. I was poorly mistaken. Hi everyone, it's day 1 of knitting the Moby sweater. So this is my very first cable work, like textured pattern sweater. I've done like regular sweaters and a color work one last, so now I'm starting my first cable knit / texture, and I'm really excited. I'm knitting the Moby sweater by Petite Knit, and I have my Aran yarn here. It's all tangled because I did a center pull on the skein, and it like yarn barf, so hold on. This is from Cascade Yarns, and it's the Cherub Aran in the color Dusty Blue. So I'm excited for this. I think that the cabling will show up really nice. This yarn is 55% nylon and 45% acrylic. So it's not 100% wool because my yarn store didn't carry a 100% wool Aran yarn, which was kind of weird. And they don't have a big DK section, so I settled for that. But I talked to the lady at my yarn store and she said it will be fine. So I just spent a while casting this onto my needles now, and it starts in the back yoke. So today is day 1, and I'll check back in maybe tomorrow, maybe in a few days, to tell you how far I've gotten. I'm so excited to get started, and I can't wait to see how this turns out. So this sweater builds the body first, and then it goes to the arms, and then the neckline last. So when I started the body, I was like, easy peasy. This is great. I was moving. And then I started getting into the crisscrosses of the sweater, and this is when things started to go downhill. Hi everyone, it's my 1 week update. I believe it's been about a week, maybe a week and a half since I started the Moby sweater by Petite Knit. And I am joined here with Carbon. I'll put some of the TikToks that I made here, but I did mess up on the back yoke. I'm still working on the back yoke. I've officially messed up to the point that I need to learn how to do this. You can see it's supposed to continue the crisscross pattern, but I don't know what I did. So thank you, Roxanne, for teaching me how to do a ladder down over a span of stitches. Hopefully I learned something new, and I will be able to use this for future reference. Fingers crossed, it fixes everything. Happy Whip Wednesday and 2-week update of my Moby sweater that I've been knitting. Admittedly, I haven't made much progress. Last week, I spent all week trying to fix my mistakes and ladder down, and I made it worse. So, yay! Awesome! I love that. I decided I wasn't going to cry anymore. I did cry over it, and I'm just going to keep going. And you know what? It's at the back. It's like right here, the back yoke, so you won't see it anyway. It'll be covered by my hair. And if I make no more mistakes, it should turn out good. It just looks really ugly, and I'm hoping the tension issues by laddering down will fix itself in blocking. But yeah, this is my current whip. This is what it looks like right now. I had to frog like this whole panel here, so that's why it is kind of messed up. And then also this panel here, which is why it's kind of messed up. And I tried for like 2 days to fix it, and I just simply, this was the best that I could do. I like frogged, fixed, because it never quite fixed well enough. So this is what I've ended up with, and I think I'm just going to accept my fate and keep going. I am almost done with the back yoke chart, I believe. I don't know, I have to read what the rest of the chart says. If it says repeat chart, then I'm not done with the back yoke chart, but this is a week and a half-ish of progress, and so far I really like it. I like the design, and I think I made a good choice with the color because the cable knit and the texture, ooh, don't look at my mistakes, but the texture looks really nice so far, so I'm happy with that. And I'll catch you guys up on our 3-week update. Every single time I did like a weekly check-in with the sweater, I don't think I made that much progress. This sweater was building like quite literally little by little, and it wasn't very satisfying to me because although I was working and learning a lot of new things, I was like, holy shit, I'm not making any progress, and it hurts my soul because I usually love to see the little progress that I'm making, but it felt like I was doing nothing. Hi, it's about a few days since I gave the last Moby sweater update. I think we're about like week 2.5 here, and I just finished the back yoke, so 3 charts total. And this is what it looks like. I'm very, very happy with it. I love the blue color that I chose. I think it emphasizes the cabling and the texture a lot. Okay, so if you're looking at this part, obviously I showed where I had messed up and frogged and refrogged right here. Hopefully that fixes itself during blocking, but over here, I have been knitting English style, and I tried to knit continental for 2 rows to see if I liked it. My tension with this type of like texture work is not good, so I've switched back to my English style for the rest of the sweater, and I think hopefully it should figure itself out in blocking as well, and then also just kind of resolve as the sweater goes on. I probably won't even be able to notice it, but you know, for 2.5 weeks in, or maybe we're on week 3, I honestly have lost track. It's not too bad. I'm kind of nervous for the shoulder because I'm not gonna lie, this pattern is kind of confusing to me. When I read it, I have to read it like 10 times because I'm like, huh? What the fuck does that mean? So we shall see. But it says to break the yarn, let the stitches rest, and then work the left and right shoulder. And I'm already kind of reading it and it's confusing, but we shall see how it turns out. And I'll be back for yet another update later on. Ta-da! Hi everyone, it's the next day and I was knitting up a storm and I finished the left shoulder panel. Let me show you. So I finished the left shoulder panel up until the point where you connect this left shoulder panel to the right shoulder panel. And this is what I got done, this part here, if you can see the little seam. It was a lot easier to work up because the rows are so much shorter than like down here. So this is really exciting. And then I cast it on / attached whatever, the cast whatever it's called for the right shoulder edge. So I'm going to work on that today. Hopefully I can finish it by today or tomorrow. That's really exciting. I love this point in the sweater where you start to get into the groove of things. You understand the pattern a lot better, and it starts going and it starts moving and grooving. So I'm super excited to see where that goes, and I will check back in with you guys when I finish the right shoulder panel. Hi everyone, I have an update. It's about 1 or 2 days after I filmed the last video where I was like, oh, I'll update you when I'm finished with the right shoulder panel. I have been knitting up a storm today. I think I just did like a 2-hour session nonstop. My neck hurts, my back hurts from sitting. I gotta stand up and move around, but I did end up finishing the right shoulder panel right here, and then I actually attached it to the left shoulder panel, so it looks like this now. The next step is to make the front yoke, which is this part, so it'll kind of sit like this, like a bib, and the front yoke should be a little bit longer than the left, and that is just a repeat chart. Oop. I'm also almost done with my first skein of yarn. That's all I have left, so that is 1 out of the 7 balls that I bought, but I will probably do that tomorrow because I need to go eat dinner and all of that now. But this was a very good knitting session. I got a lot done. I'm very happy with it. The back, yeah, you can see the mistakes, but I feel like in the long run, I'm probably not even gonna notice it. And if I do, I'll be like, whatever, very minimal. But the front is what I'm very, very excited for, especially now that I know the pattern. It's gonna go a lot smoother, so yay. So I just kept working and working and working and working, and finally I finished the body 2 months later. It took me 2 months to finish the body, and you know what? That was a damn long time. And I really liked the sweater at this point. I was like, this is very pretty. I can get down with it. There are some mistakes that the YouTube video I watched said would come out in blocking. Some mistakes there, but overall, a very, very pretty sweater. And I very, very much like it. I tried it on, it was oversized, and I was like, this is the fit I want. It's great. I finally finished the body, and so I moved on to the sleeves. The sleeves were pretty easy. The first one gave me a lot of grief. The first one, I was like, holy shit, I cannot for the life figure out how to do the decreases with the moss stitch that I was doing. So there's a lot of mistakes there. Mistakes that I really notice, okay? And then by the time I got to the second sleeve and I figured out how to do everything, it was perfect, almost. There were still some mistakes in there, but it was basically perfect. And when you like compare the sleeves, it's so ugly. Finally, I have been working on this sweater all day. My goal was to finish the sleeve, and I just bind it off of the last sleeve. So this is what it looks like. It's like a real garment. Okay, but the last thing I have to do is this neckline, like the collar, which I'm going to do tomorrow. But both of the sleeves are officially done. Finally, I'm over it. I'm over it. And then I have to block it. I'm hoping to wear it maybe for Christmas or my friend's Secret Santa party. But, ta-da! Okay, now I'm gonna go play Baldur's Gate because that's what I wanna do. That was my goal. I finished my goal and I get to reward myself. And tomorrow we'll do the neckline and hopefully I can finish that tomorrow. So, fingers crossed. I tried it on with the sleeves and the body. Mind you, the neckline is not done yet. So I tried it on and I was like, this is perfect. I loved it so much. The fit is perfect. The sleeves went to about here. I was like, when I block, it's gonna be a little bit longer, which I love. The body was perfect. And then I started to knit the neckline. So I knit and knit and knit. This was kind of weird because it's like you pick up from the neck and then you do the ribbing and then you do some extra steps so that you could fold the ribbing. And then you sew it together and it pulled up the sweater by a few inches. I'm not even kidding you. I think I didn't realize how heavy the yarn was. Like this sweater is heavy. This is a heavy sweater. It's the nylon acrylic. I don't know what it is. Usually my wool is nowhere near this heavy, but it was a heavy ass sweater and it picked up the whole sweater by a few inches. So the sleeves went down from like here to here. That seems dramatic, maybe like here to here. And the body also came up and I was like, my perfect fit is not perfect anymore. It's actually thumbs down. It's actually rough. And I was like, you know what? It has some hope until I tried it on. All right, it's Sunday night. It's 11:30 p.m. I've been working all day to finish this and it's done. Ta-da! Oop, oop, ta-da! Wow, so this is the first time I've ever like cast on stitches on the neckline and then folded over the edge afterwards. It's kind of wonky. It's kind of uneven, but that's okay. That's okay. This sweater is imperfect in so many ways and I'll go over that later, but the next step is to block it. I'm gonna throw it in the wash, don't be scared. I'm gonna throw it in the wash because this particular blend of yarn that I used is a nylon and acrylic blend. So if I put it in on like a delicate / hand wash cycle that my laundry machine has, it'll be fine. I've also put my wool stuff in the hand wash cycle, side note, and it's been perfectly fine. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lay it out, I'm gonna throw it in there, and we're gonna see how it looks afterwards. But I'll try it on for a pre-block so you guys can see what it looks like. So here it is with the sweater on. Oh, I can't believe it actually fits. It's a little bit short here, so I'm hoping it'll stretch out a little bit. Also, the arms are a little bit short. I'm hoping it's just like the ribbing because when I tried this on while I was knitting, it was not this short. Now that I'm looking at it, it's like painfully short, but hopefully it will stretch out a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna throw it in the wash and hopefully it'll be dry by tomorrow. It was too short. Everything was too short. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Blocking fixes everything. So I'm just going to block the sweater and I'm going to block it and stretch everything and it should be hunky-dory and fine. Little did I know, nylon acrylic does not stretch like wool does. I totally forgot I bought that blend of yarn. So it does not stretch like wool does and it did not stretch at all. And I'm so sad because something I worked so hard on for the longest time ended up being tragic, too short in every place that you would want it to be long, and just little holes and mistakes. And I don't know if it's because I've been staring at this damn sweater for so long, but I noticed every single mistake and it pains me on the inside. And it's just like, to my soul, especially because I worked so long on it. It's a few days later, the sweater is officially blocked and on, and honestly, I kind of hate it. I don't think I'm ever gonna wear it. Okay, I have so many gripes with this sweater. Honestly, I might remake it in the future, knowing what I know now, but let me go through what I like and don't like about it. Zooming out here so you can see the whole thing. When I was making it, everything was like to length, like the sleeves. You can see they're short. They are short. When I was making it, it was like here, and I was like, oh, for sure blocking, it's gonna come to here. Same with this bottom part, it was down here, and it shrank up here because I have never made a sweater before where I knitted the neckline here last. And because I knitted it last, I didn't realize that it was going to shoot everything upwards and make everything way shorter, okay? So that is what happened, and it's just so, it's too small, and I'm sad because I knitted a gauge swatch, I did everything correctly, and it's just too small. Not to mention the many, many mistakes here that I have. So this was the first time I've ever made a texture sweater, and you can see it in a lot of the work here. The sleeves, for example, there are rows where it's just knit, like all down here, because I could not figure out how to keep the moss stitch going with the decreases. A lot of this part is uneven. The front looks way better than the back because I did the back first. Let me see if I can show you the back. So with the back, you can see that there's like holes and stuff. That's because, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was struggling to fix the back, and I had frogged some sections. I watched a video of how to frog just a section and refix it, and I spent like a week trying to refix it, and I don't think I did it right at all. I did not fix it right, so there's like little holes back there. It's kind of upsetting. It is, for the main part, covered by my hair, but it's big enough that I notice it. Some other things I noticed, like some of the cabling, like right here, I messed up on, and I didn't want to go back to do it. So I kind of hate it. It's kind of giving grandma also. But what I did like about it is that I learned a lot. I learned a lot. This was the first time I ever worked with nylon acrylic blend yarn, and I realized it doesn't have as much give as wool. I don't think I'll work with this type of yarn texture again. Also, the sweater is like super heavy. It's small and it's super heavy. And that's not my cup of tea. I think I would rather just invest in wool blend yarns in the future. And one thing I really want to try is bamboo, but that's like totally different. Other positives of this sweater, I learned how to do cabling, which is what my main goal was for this sweater. I really wanted to learn how to cable. And then also this like textured part. I have improved my knitting skills, I think, twofold making this sweater. I learned so many new techniques. I learned how to like frog a section and redo it. Granted, I did it wrong, but I know how to do it in the future. I learned moss stitch. I learned how to do the neckline last and pick up, and that means I need to, you know, knit extra on here and here. So I learned a lot, and at the end of the day, even though I kind of hate this, it's not the worst thing ever because I can make more advanced patterns going forward. This was the most advanced thing I've ever made to date, and honestly, I thought I had made more stuff, but I was looking back through my camera roll, and I only started knitting this year. So it's only been 1 year of knitting, and this is my third sweater, and I don't know why. I don't know what possessed me to think that I could make something like this, but here it is, and there's a reason it's not perfect. Yeah, so this is the sweater. I think I will keep it in my archive just to be like, hey, look at this thing I made. Like, look at this, it's not perfect. I love keeping old stuff because it's just like the journey, you know? It's the journey of stuff. So, ta-da, 3 months of work later, and I hate it, but that's fine. That's fine, that's perfectly fine. It was a learning experience. Will I knit it again? Maybe. I think I would knit it again in a totally different type of yarn material, and I think it would look very pretty. Like, I ordered a Drops brand yarn for the first time to make the cloud sweater, so if that goes good and it's light and airy, I might try to remake this. I learned a lot. I'm never gonna work with nylon acrylic again. Will I make a texture sweater again? Maybe, next year. I think I've been through enough pain this past 3 months making this sweater that I just don't want that self-inflicted on myself again. I could have stopped. I could have stopped and done something else. All the pain that I felt this last 3 months making this sweater was For sure self-inflicted. I just wanted to finish it. I guess I'm just stubborn like that. I should have just stopped and done something else and revisit it whenever, but I did learn a lot. I did learn a lot, even though I hate it so much. Well, overall, let me know what you guys all think of the sweater. I have a love-hate relationship with it, mainly leaning on the hate side, but let me know what you guys think. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been a labor of love. 3 months in the making to make this video and sweater. But let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be making another sweater next, which is gonna be super easy, and I'm so excited. I might turn it into a knitting challenge, but just let me know. I really appreciate you all being here, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.